Okay, so I thought I'd just make a really quick video. I know I haven't made videos for quite a while now, actually, and I do have a few in sort of that I've just saved, kind of like archived. If you guys want to see it, just leave some comments below. There's some unboxings and stuff like that. But today, mainly, I just want to talk about, it was a topic that I brought up a few years ago as well, that I could kind of, I mean, anybody who I don't follow them as closely. I don't follow technology as much anymore. But when I was really following it, it was kind of obvious what was going to happen. You know, that Apple was going to eventually run out of steam. Not completely, of course, but just that. I mean, the innovation at the time. I don't know. It didn't seem like it could be just kept up at that pace. But mainly, what I wanted to talk about was. I guess there's a lot of negative focus on Apple now, especially in the news and everything like that. Analysts are trying to, you know, say Apple's the magic has come to an end and everything. And I was just watching DRB UK's video, and he brought up some great points actually. So I suggest you guys go and have a look at that as well. But he basically said, look, the experience is really good. It's consistent, but the thing is, the experience doesn't really change, which I know they tout as a feature, saying that, okay, well, other companies, they change their interface and everything so suddenly that consumers can't adapt to it fast. But they have had all these years, you know, since 2007, to just gradually innovate with their interface and just change it. You know, maybe tweak a few things, the bottom dock, you know, just make things different, look new, keep it, you know, just stop it from going stale. And I guess they just haven't done that, and I know I've brought this up many times before. And look, I mean, the experience, don't get me wrong here, the experience of the iPhone, the iPad, and iOS in general is amazing. Like, it is a really, really good operating system, a great mobile operating system, but the thing is that you get bored of it eventually. You get so used to it that it just becomes just an average, stable part of your day. There's nothing new or exciting about it. And I guess that's sort of what DRB UK was saying, was kind of like Windows. You know, Windows is stable. It's your everyday sort of thing. Of course, Microsoft isn't going anywhere, but they've just gone with the whole stability thing. You know, you get, I guess now with Windows 8 things have been shaken up a bit, which is pretty interesting. But you know, with Windows 7 and with Windows Vista and you know, they had the same taskbar and everything was pretty much sort of the same experience, you know. And I guess it was good for their consumers, and that's sort of the way Apple is heading down, at least that I see, because everything is really stable. It's the same. They don't really shake things up. Now, moving on really quick, because I'm starting to ramble here. I guess a lot of people are saying, are they having problems, and DRB UK raised the same question, are they having problems, or is it just, is it getting put on them by analysts that they're having problems when they're really not? And I think the fact is that they are having problems and they're just not admitting to it. I think Steve Jobs may have made a hiring mistake here with Tim Cook. I think he may be a bit too conservative in the fact that, look, you know, Steve Jobs is gone, but the entire team is the same. There's no change in the team. You still got, as far as I know, again, I don't follow technology as closely as I used to, but as far as I'm aware, they've still got the same amazing team that that they had. The only difference is Steve Jobs now isn't there, which, of course, it wasn't a one-man operation. It's a public company. No one would buy shares in it. If it was a one-man operation, of course, it couldn't go public. But of course, the company is able to run without Steve Jobs, and everyone acknowledges that. But I think that Tim Cook may just be too conservative here for that job. I think he's just... whereas Steve sort of... I think he, you know, took risks sometimes, you know, which I think was a good thing for Apple, especially for their periods of innovation. So, you know, I think they are having problems in that Tim Cook is probably too conservative for the job, and I think Steve Jobs sort of set it up. Jim Collins actually spoke about in one of his books, From Good to Great, I believe, saying there's a model called the Genius with 1,000 Helpers. So basically, had him at the top as a genius, and then he had all the able helpers below him. And that model sort of, once the genius goes away, the company starts to falter. And there are plenty of companies that have come back from that faltering, and so that's all well and good. I just think that they need to pivot now and maybe really assess if Tim Cook is the right man for the job. And maybe he is. Maybe I'm just wrong. I haven't thoroughly assessed his capabilities or his capacity to run the company. But I think at this point they should really be examining Tim Cook and just saying, you know, does he really make the cut? Because at the end of the day, the shareholders of the company really need to make this decision, because honestly, their marketing is also really bad. I've noticed that the new iPod Touch, the marketing slogan is engineered for maximum funness. I mean, that is, if that was any other company, they would be at the receiving end of every joke for God knows how long. But because it's Apple, it's of course wiped off. But I mean, if you look at 2007, you know, the new iMacs, the new keyboards were out of this world as well. They were, even just the keyboards, they were amazing. But they had the Apple TV, the iPhone, everything. I mean, that was a period of amazing innovation. And nothing much has changed since then. I mean, even the Mac Pro hasn't been updated, and I'm sure it will be eventually, but that hasn't been updated for a long time now. The capacity in the iPad has actually changed, but I wasn't really aware of it. When the iPad went from the iPad 3 to the 4, no one really knew about it. Whenever I spoke to anyone about it, they thought it was still the iPad 3. I don't know, I think there are problems that need to be examined within the company. Previously, you would know if there was a new iPad out. It'd be all over the news, and their site would say new. But now when you go onto it, even I'm just on the store page now, I have to click into Shop iPad, and then I see now with up to 128 gigs for the iPad, they've updated the storage. Whereas before it'd be plastered all over the front of the site and everything, and I guess the promotion was a bit better. And the iPad mini, it just says it has a new badge on it. I'm not actually sure what's been changed in that still at the moment. So yeah, I guess there are fundamental problems that need to be looked at, and I thought it was quite an interesting video, and I thought I would just share my thoughts on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my thoughts on what has been going on with Apple recently, and hopefully if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for more.